40 wedding occurrences that made it apparent the marriage would end in divorce, according to Reddit. Number 40. I thought my sister's wedding was. Her husband got blackout drunk and they got into an argument. He passed out and ended up throwing a bucket of ice water in his face to snap him out of it. She was devastated about it. Happy ending, he made it up to her, big time. Also, he felt very out of it, even the next day. Turns out he had traces of Rohypnol in his system. His own brother roofied him in the hopes that he wouldn't marry my sister because he wanted their own friendship to remain the same. My brother-in-law has disowned most of his family because of this, and his brother just got out of a 4-year prison sentence. A response reads, "What an ever-loving shit."
That's like super possessive. I hate to be his girlfriend, like the brother who roofied his own brother.
Yep. Number 39. Sister's wedding. Husband ends the speech by saying, "Thanks for settling for me." 18 months later, they agree to divorce. How sad. How sad. Just joking, not really, says, "Oh, that one's a little sad."
So it's not really?
But he probably really means that. He's just joking, not really. So he's not joking. Get it?
You lost me.
It's easy to lose stripes. Number 38. Toward the end of the reception, the bride suggested to the groom that he run home and change into street clothes so that they could clean the venue and get the deposit returned. Groom got back and the bride had opened all of the gift envelopes and paid back relatives with the cash they contained. Source, the groom was me. Oh, God.
It was me.
Do you think they're already divorced? Do you think that it's going to happen? He's just waiting.
I need to know how long they've been together, if they're still together, and he's just like already given up.
Somebody responds, "Paid them back for what? The wedding?" The guy responds, "She said that they helped her pay for some of the expenses that she agreed to cover." Another person says, "I see no problem with her doing this since you should be sharing all your money anyway at this point, but she should have had that discussion with you first. Your comment is good, but it is bad. Why is it good and bad? And why have people upvoted it?"
Well,
spoken like a true stoned giant. Your comment is good, but it is bad. And some lady in here, Landria, is all like,
"I personally think she should use her own money for whatever debts she has herself, or discuss it beforehand."
Nigga, that's in direct conflict. Like, these are two different things that she's what people are saying is that if they're a new union, husband and wife, they should discuss what they should be getting. People are giving these gifts of money, to them both for them uniting, you know what I mean? Their union. So for one of them to take all of the money and decide to do whatever with it without discussing it with the other party is nuts. Not that it's the end of the world, but like, damn, what is this bitch talking about?
I personally think that she should use her own money for,
like, it's not her own money though. It's their money.
Right.
And then the fact that she goes, "or discuss it beforehand," it's just like the most like scatterbrain fucking ping pong ball type mentality. Why am I getting off track? We're not even like fucking 5 deep into the shit yet. Number 37.
You're doing 40. You're gonna run into a lot of shitty ones.
Man, the bride got blackout drunk and asked me to kill her husband. Oh.
Ugh.
He was busy fighting one of his groomsmen in the other room, like fucking bare knuckle fighting. They divorced 2 years later. Blackout drunk and asked me to kill a man. Was she hot? She couldn't have been that hot if he didn't kill him, Anyway, the response is, "What kind of fight? Couple of macho dudes getting oiled up and testing their strength in a good old-fashioned wrestling event? Taut, rippling bodies giving testament to the male form? Ain't nothing wrong with that." Welcome to the gay comment stream. Somebody grab the Vaseline. Gay comment stream. Somebody grab that Vaseline. Number 36. Wedding was going okay until the bride and groom got hammered. Groom's baby mama ex showed up. Then
Wait. Haven't we read this one before? It sounds familiar.
Jesus Christ, every time you hear something of the same thing, you know what? I'm just going to start, like, including a nigga in a red shirt in these stories, right? So that every time you go, nigga in a red shirt, didn't we read something about this guy before? Like, somebody said, I've seen something with a guy with a red shirt before. This must be the same story. It must be, like, a different account from somebody else who was also in the room with this nigga in a red shirt. Shut the fuck up, Stripes. Like, let's get through this freaking list. Like, no. God, this is a different... You know what I should do? I should make a dummy account on Reddit and make the same comment in every post. And then you'll read it going, no way, this is the same story. I know it's not the same thread, but it is the same thread. Stripes' wedding was going okay until the bride and the groom got hammered. Groom's baby mama ex showed up. Then the bride proceeded to lock herself in the room, crying and continuing to drink by herself. It was a shit show, to say the least. It's kind of sad for that lady. OP himself responds, how long do you wait to leave in a scenario like that? You leave when the free booze and food is gone, homie. Just like at any event. You see what I'm talking about? The groom would not stop crying. This is number 35. He cried through the entire ceremony and most of the reception. This is from somebody who's deleted their Reddit account. What if, Stripes?
He was the groom?
What if he was what if this was the wife? You know, it doesn't matter if it was like a man or woman relationship. But what if this is the wife and the groom is their husband and they wouldn't stop crying and they had to delete it?
He wouldn't stop crying because he outed her? I mean, she outed him.
Stripes, this has nothing to do with gayness or heterosexuality. Listen, something happened at a wedding, right?
Yes, I'm following. I'm just like, are you saying he saw her post and just started crying?
No, nigga, what? Are you fucking putting on an act right now?
No, of course not.
Shut up. There was a wedding, you dumb broad. There was a wedding, okay?
Yeah,
and the groom was crying at the wedding, okay?
Understand.
I'm not gonna give you the satisfaction. I'm not gonna give you the satisfaction here. So we're going to number 34 here. Our friend, look, seriously, I'm saying that number 34. Our friend was the girl who had spent a whole year. I got like shit in my eye now. Our friend was the girl who had spent a whole year setting up for the one day. They had taken 6 months of dancing lessons, and she spent a ridiculous amount of time looking good and dressing up her bridesmaids for the wedding, of which my wife was one of the bridesmaids. So come the night of the wedding, the groom meets up with his old friends and starts to get blackout drunk. He got so drunk, he didn't even recognize us, rather than just pushing aside to get to the bathroom. What? He got so drunk he didn't even recognize us, rather just pushing us aside to get to the bathroom. Oh, okay, like he didn't say hello to us. He didn't, greet them maybe. The worst part was the dance itself. It was really heartbreaking to see them stumble around and watch the panic on her face as she realized he had no idea what was going on. I gave it 6 months at the time, but they ended up 3 years. She ended up marrying another woman. Well, there you go. Let's load some comments on this one. Well, I hope her wife is a better dancer.
Private dancer for money.
Number 34. Just got married 2 weeks ago. Wife's father engraved her name and wedding date on the cake knife. Mine was absent. I don't understand.
Instead of the bride and groom's name on the knife, it was the bride and her dad's name on the knife.
No, nigga, listen. It was just her name, not the dad's name. It was just her name. The father engraved just her name on the cake, on the knife. I didn't even know that this was a tradition. I don't know shit about marriage. But, the fact that I guess his name was absent is fucked. Some guy says, I'll keep you guys updated. My name was absent from the knife. Well, yeah, he says, I'll keep you guys updated. Dude, you know what you should do on your year anniversary? Get a matching cake knife with your name and have a small ceremony. That way there is a pair. Then 5-year anniversary, get one with both your names. Make sure to thank your father-in-law for the great tradition. I actually gave it to him and told him it wasn't finished the day after the wedding. Aw. That is awesome how you handled the situation. Passive-aggressive assholishness. Well, there you go. Number 33. When the father of the bride tells the groom, how can you marry someone like her? You are too nice. You deserve better. Surely enough, the marriage lasted less than 3 years. During the whole time, the wife was doing drugs and prostituted herself to get money for drugs. That sucks. Father of the bride at the best friend's wedding told him, she is just like her mother. I don't know how you're doing this. They got divorced this a year later. That's fucked. Number 32. The groom looked drunk, and the bride seemed incredibly angry. There was this woman walking around during the reception, placing bets on when they would divorce. I later found out she was the mother of the groom. You gotta understand, I would imagine that some people get married because they probably believe that they got a lot of money coming their way. You know what I mean?
No, I don't understand that.
Well, you're right, because marriages are expensive as fuck. I mean, wedding ceremonies, I should say, are expensive as fuck. So maybe like rich people have weddings because they expect a lot of money coming from like rich relatives and associates, but not broke people who want drugs and liquor. Broke people who want drugs and liquor. But we don't know if these people come from rich families, so we can't say. Number 31. It hasn't ended in divorce yet. That will happen after their sons finish college. During the groom's speech at the wedding, he just told us that he was first attracted to his wife's sister. Nice.
Was that some kind of joke that fell flat? Why would he include that?
Well, nigga, you got me. Look, yes. In any other situation, perhaps, that would be a pretty good joke. But I don't think it should be something that's coming out of the groom's mouth anywhere near the wedding. Anywhere near the wedding ceremony. So yeah, that guy fucked up, and he probably was joking, but it most definitely would have met a room full of silence, and probably one Kyle in the back of the room going, oh shit. You know what I'm talking about? So like, yeah. No way. Number 30. I was working at a wedding factory. Yeah, just pumping out those weddings. On Monday, we got a call. The wedding is ready, guys. So on Monday, we got a call. The Saturday wedding.
Steal the weddings in.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's just like pull a tarp on, put a tarp on that wedding. We gotta push it back. You know what I mean? Oh my God. On Monday, we got a call. The Saturday wedding was canceled. They were told that they would lose the deposit, around $7,000. Then on Thursday, they said it was back on. When the guests arrived, everyone was pissed off. It seems they told everyone it was off, and then 2 days later that it was back on. The ceremony was about 3 minutes. The bride then changed into sweatpants, and then everybody got angry drunk. Well, this won't last long, I thought. Then on the following Monday, the bride walked into my then wife's divorce attorney's office. You work at a reception hall and your wife's a divorce attorney. You set him up, she knocks him down. That shit's rude, man. Those are two things that you're always going to be making money off of, man, is fools.
What a great team they make. It's so sad that they're not together anymore.
No, nigga, the person telling the story.
I know, they said then wife. So they're not together anymore, assumingly.
Oh. Well, when your wife's a divorce attorney, man. You know what I'm talking about? A divorce attorney.
That means she can just handle the paperwork herself.
Yeah, she's just like,
Keep talking, I'll do this right now. All I gotta do is stamp it. I will stamp this and you can put a tarp on that wedding.
who left this wedding out here? Should have put that wedding in the fridge. Number 29. I was reunited with a family member just before her wedding. We went out drinking, and she proudly pointed at a guy at the bar that she'd just gone on a trip with and had a week-long prenuptial sex romp. What the fuck? She seemed to think I'd think that was naughty and funny. I just felt bad for her future husband, but figured it was just a bad choice. The day of the wedding, I went to see her in the bridal suite. She had the guy there with him. She fucked him the night before the wedding. They lasted a few years, but it was a miserable few. Jesus Christ, bitch. Like, what I hate about women, Stripes, is like, it's not even like it's super bad if you're not about that monogamous life. Just make it apparent to the people that you're fucking around with, you know? Just be honest. There are people out there who get down on that same shit just like you. But you know what I think it must be like? I think they must need the thrill of breaking the hearts of people who are all about just them when, you know, they are with multiple partners. It's almost like, you know, like a transgender man to woman trying to trick a whole bunch of regular heterosexual men into thinking that, you know, they're actually a real woman, when in reality, you know, most typical guys are just looking for that anatomical born with a vagina woman. And you know, regardless of what they want to identify as, you know what I mean? If a dolphin jumped out the water right now and was like, hey homie, I want to identify as a human, we could call him a human. You know what I mean? We could give him some legs to walk on, but he would still be a dolphin. You hear that, you transgender motherfucker? I'm kidding. Listen, number 28.
You really died.
What? No,
away from yourself.
I just trigger somebody every video, I think, to myself. Remember last video when we were talking about how we barely knew what Rage Against the Machine was? I just knew that somebody would be all like, oh, he doesn't know. Love that band. It's like that. There's this one Family Guy thing with Quagmire, and he's like, what do you mean you don't know Wings? I love Wings, stupid people. And he's like shambling off. Oh god, it's so dumb. I was reunited with a family member. Yeah, I read that one. Number 28. The bride asked my brother to come. Wait. Oh shit. The bride asked my brother and I to come object. Our flight was delayed and we didn't get there in time. It did not last long. Do you know what that means?
What?
During a wedding ceremony, it's famously, you know, asked if anybody has anything, you know, to say about this union. Speak now or forever hold your peace. So this brother guy was so passive with this hoe that he asked, you know, his brother to come and object to this union. And the flight got delayed. Ain't that some shit? But like, seriously, what kind of man are you where like, why were you asked to object? She was still in love with my brother. Jesus Christ. And you guys reach marriage stage. The world is so weird, Stripes. Number 28. Right? He didn't look me in the eyes during the entire ceremony. He stared at the preacher the whole fucking time. Gave me a kiss on the hand when it was time to kiss the bride. Also didn't tell me that his father was a sexual pervert that wanted to pound me. He thought it was normal and okay for his dad to think this about me. Wow.
Was this man gay?
What do you mean, was the man gay? Just because he kissing the hoe on the wrist? Maybe maybe it was like a sham marriage just to make it seem like, you know, Troy McClure was a straight man. Selma Abouvier.
Troy McClure was straight.
What? But did you hear about that thing with the lizard? No? Number 27. She flinched when he turned to kiss her. They were divorced within 6 months. Jesus Christ, guys. Number 26. The day of her wedding, I asked my sister-in-law if she was enjoying her day, and all she said was, "It's a fucking nightmare. This is the worst day of my life." Well, to be honest, I like to think that most chicks that are cool, that are down to earth and not basic as fuck, like the types of chicks that you wouldn't find at a Selena Gomez concert, they would probably hate a conventional, typical wedding, type bullshit. And some girls, especially with how nightmarish their relatives can get, and how some mothers can just want to dictate and make the wedding a certain way. They were just what?
Is this a segue to another video?
No.
Okay.
Fucking Stripes. All I'm saying is, to a typical chick, that I would deal with, to like a cool chick, to like an outside of the box type unconventional girl, yeah, most of these normal ass ceremonies, it would just be a nightmare. So I think this chick is cool as long as she, she wanted specifically to be with this guy, which is why, I like the whole idea of just getting the fucking paperwork done and being legally married, if that's what you want to do. Number 24. At the end of the reception, the guys are sitting at the table, away from everyone else talking, and we asked the groom why he proposed. His answer? Because she was naked. The marriage lasted about 1.5 years. That's pretty long. My husband proposed while we were both naked. I just got out of the shower and he was getting in. Been together 9 years, so it can't be all bad. Maybe mutual nudity is the key. I really like the idea of seeing your SO naked, probably for the 100th or so time, coming out of the shower and being like, I need to see this forever. Aww. It's true. Some, when you see that naked hot body and you're like, look at the way them fucking things are handling. Hell yes. Look at the hanging. Look at the hanging. Oh, I'm sorry. Getting a little off topic. Number 24. The groom called the bride a cunt at the reception. They totally got divorced. Yeah, radical. The comment says, yeah, that'll do it. Man. There's a deleted one here. I hate that. I want to know what this was. Was that 6 months? Why is everything deleted?
Why did she call her a cunt? What made him do that to her? Is it just like a casual thing to him? Listen,
some women are cunts. It's better for them to understand initially than to go a couple of years and then be like, you know what, you're a cunt. I wasn't gonna say it, but you're a cunt. I wonder if that'll end up in the comment section. I wasn't gonna say it, but lip pop, lip pop, lip pop, lip pop. You're a cunt. Number 24. Didn't I say that? Number 23. While saying the classic I do, instead of looking deep into the bride's eyes, the groom was peeking out at one of the bridesmaids. Oh.
So what, he was looking through her?
No, he just wasn't making eye contact with the woman he wanted to spend the rest of his life with. Oh my god, people are going to be mad that I snorted in the middle of the video, and now you're calling attention to the fact that oh my god, shut up.
But I love it when you do that.
You're weird.
It's cute.
It's cute. Stripes PJ Willikers. You better. That's your full name now, okay? Stripes PJ Willikers. Miss Willikers, if you're nasty. A response says, maybe she had a booger hanging out, as to why the guy was looking at the bridesmaids. And then somebody else said, or really nice titties. Ain't that the truth? It's getting a little too real. Number 22. My cousin's wedding. The groom invited his ex. Oh. Who was also the mother of his 1-year-old son. He and my cousin had been dating for longer than 2 years, and my cousin, who was very pregnant herself, got into a loud screaming match with him over it in the bathroom. They eventually came out and got married. My cousin, with puffy red eyes from crying, that you can see in every wedding photo that was taken. Oh boy, what an idiot. Why would he invite like his ex baby mama to the fucking new wedding? How stupid are people? Number 21. The groom, groomsmen, groom's friends, groom's father, etc., all males, just for clarification, kept making jokes about being tied down, having a nagging wife, and the end of being single. not being able to flirt with other women. Basically, everything was about how marriage actually sucks. This is something I will never understand. If marriage sounds that awful to you, why even get married? My ex-wife misses me a lot, but her aim's getting better. It's funny because marriage is terrible. Her aim is getting better. Her aim is getting better. Number 19. They spend $50,000 on a Disney wedding, and the bride spent 0 time anywhere near the in-laws for several hours. She ran off. A week later, she ran off. What the fuck?
It's a Disney wedding.
What do you mean?
Why would you just...
Oh my god. No contact with the groom? She just ran off, everybody questions? And the freckle guy says, correct. This was over 10 years ago. Awful part is that the guy is such a wonderful person. He just attracts crazy. Nigga, money attracts crazy. You know what I mean? You need to find yourself a down-to-earth hoe, and it should be super simple. It should be super simple to find a girl that's not about that jizzy wish. You know what I mean? That gingerbread roof. Ooh, man. You're part crazy as well, Stripes.
I'm not crazy.
If only you could be pure, non-crazy.
You found me in a bad place.
Okay.
Getting better.
I bet you all the girls say some horse shit like that and then spout out some kind of bullshit Marilyn Monroe quote that really wasn't from Marilyn Monroe. But what do you know? You'll just accept anything you read on the internet.
If you can't handle me at my worst.
Number 19. At the rehearsal dinner, the groom's mom was in tears because he looks miserable, and he was. We all knew it. During the vows they had written for each other, the bride starts with, I know I can be a pretty terrible person, and I don't know why you've stuck around, but that's all going to change starting today. They divorced a year later. Why do people, put up with this stuff? Fuck. And why do terrible people find the reason to latch on to, good people? Fuck me. Some people just want to be happy and make another people happy. Make another people happy. You know how simple that is, and how that'd be it for some people's lives. That's all they want, is just the desire, the ability to make another person as happy as perhaps that person could make them in return. Some people don't even want it in return. But
I understand that, or I'm starting to.
I don't even know if it's worth an awe. I don't know. Kind of got lost in my own thoughts as usual. No, the response is, I remember attending a lecture where the speaker said something along the lines of, women, don't expect marriage to change your boyfriend's habits. It's just a piece of paper for formality's sake. If he's a dick now, that isn't going to change once you're married. So get out while you still can. And this applies both fucking ways. Number 18. The bride had the minister put, till death or divorce do us part into the ceremony. That ain't good. Yeah. My God. Number 17. During the ceremony, when the priest started asking the bride, do you take this man to be yours? She started laughing uncontrollably and couldn't stop. It was cute for 10 seconds, and then things got real uncomfortable. They lasted a year and change. We all kinda knew the only reason they were getting married was because she got pregnant. Oh. This sounds like a particular flavor of panic attack. I've seen it before, where someone won't let themselves cry, bursts out laughing instead. It's kind of disturbing and really sad. My sister laughs in uncomfortable or dangerous situations. When we were younger, we almost drowned at the beach, and she laughed hysterically the whole time. When she left her abusive boyfriend, she laughed when he came to pick her up. Oh. Wow, this laughing during inappropriate situations has happened to me several times in the past. It disturbs and confuses. We should just make an inappropriate laughing video, because that sounds more interesting than half of these assholes dealing with other assholes in scenarios where they're trying to spend the life with that asshole when wait a minute, this guy was actually a nice guy. But how else will the wedding factory stay in business, Stripes?
Well, you need a divorce court too.
Bum, bum, bang, 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 bang. Number 16. My sister's new husband made out with a bridesmaid on the dance floor of the reception. Well, maybe they were drunk. What was the reaction of the other guests? I can't imagine that went over well. I'm not sure how many people caught it at the time, but word spread. What are they gonna do? Punch him in the face? Man, that's nuts. Even if you're drunk, come on, man. I just don't drink, and I can drink and, I can see myself if I wanted to get drunk, had to be in the safety of my own home with only people that I would trust with my life, next to my ass. Not like,
Does that mean you trusted me with your life?
I wasn't drunk, Stripes.
So you don't.
Of course not. You're fucking crazy. One day you're a fucking hyena, Stripes. And then you want to be a ladybug, Stripes? Lucky ladybug? Huh? Ladybug silver dollar rabbit's foot? With a 4-leaf clover and a horseshoe? Wishbone shamrocks got me shook with an abracadabra and a cat's. Number 14. Groom got caught getting frisky with a bridesmaid. That marriage lasted for about 2 hours. Oh shit, that's fucked up. Well, how many of these we got? Too many. All right, here we are. A bunch of my family members are betting on how long one of my cousin's marriages will last. It definitely is going to end in divorce, but we just don't know when. Here's the list of the shit that happened. Pre-wedding, the couple can't even agree on invitation card decides, so they decide each would have their own. Some people received 2 invitations. It's not the craziest thing ever. I'm sure most pre-weddings feud over shit like that. Wedding. They're both from different races, and the groom's family is insisting on having a wedding ceremony from their culture too. The bride refused the part where she has to kneel before her husband and wash his feet clean. Ugh. The groom's family insisted, and she was stuck doing it. Oh my god.
That poor girl.
Yeah, they should be about her, man. Like, I mean, not to push your culture aside, but fuck me, man. Make her happy, nigga. This is the beginning of the rest of your life together. And if you can't do that for her, in lieu especially of what all your bullshit fucking relatives, you know what I mean? Like, that's one thing that really pisses me off about certain relationships is like how like relatives and family members consider themselves taking precedent. Like, unless your relative is in danger, you don't get say in their shit because you're not fucking marrying them. This person is. The bride got tired with all the photo taking and refused to pose for any more photographs, even though she hadn't taken photos with the groom's extended family. Meanwhile, she had already taken photos with her entire family, extended family, and parents' friends. The groom's cousin told the bride she walked inelegantly, and she spent hours crying and refused to come out for the wedding dinner. Half the groom's family boycotted the wedding over the bride's race and religion. Hilarious. Post-wedding, the bride insisted that they should fly first class for their honeymoon. The groom insisted it was a waste of money, even though they both came from money. The bride flew first class. The groom stuck to economy. Nigga, if you can't fly first class to your honeymoon destination, dude, especially when you guys have the money, like, what are you saving it for? Come on, man. It seems like the husband in the scenario is just an asshole, and she needs to drop that nigga like a bag of bricks. I really need context to the 2 different cultures involved. Foot washing ceremonies are a thing that super evangelicals do, because Jesus washed the feet of his disciples. I've seen it at a few weddings, rarely, but they take turns washing each other's feet as a show of devotion and humbling themselves. It definitely isn't something you have to do, though, so might not be the right culture. Also, being forced to do it really defeats the entire purpose. Yeah. Well, there you go, man. This is ridiculous. Moving on here. Her vows, okay? They were friends of mine who dated for nearly 2 years before their wedding. He loved her more than she loved him, obvious to all of our friends. Oh no. And we suspected she begrudgingly said yes to his proposal. He said his vows first, and went on and on about loving her for the rest of his life. During hers, she stated that with 438 days, that's how long I've loved you. It seemed sweet until she ended her vows with, and I promise to love you for at least 438 more. Wow. Most thought nothing of it, and some friends called me a dick for saying it was a subconscious sign she wasn't in it for the long haul. She left him exactly that amount of days after the wedding with a note that said, "I kept my vow to love you for 438 days more, but I can't for a single day more." Stripes.
That's heartbreaking.
Called it. Swish. Nothing but net, bros. Pay that money. You think they bought this guy a gaming laptop?
I don't think so, no.
Who's gonna buy me a cheap gaming laptop, Stripes?
Not me.
Come on. Come on and slam. If you wanna jam, Stripes. The response is, if she went through that whole big dramatic, almost literary gesture, then she must not be a very down-to-earth person. People like that see themselves as the protagonist of a story and everyone else as a supporting character. They then use said people as props to their own development. Nigga, people don't even know that they use people as props on the daily. They don't even know that they treat people like extras in their personal fucking movie. Here's another one. We knew the couple was in trouble when they frowned during most of the ceremony and later didn't go on a honeymoon because they couldn't agree on a destination. Wow. They had plenty of money, just no desire to compromise. Nigga, if you got money like that, then why not just go to both places? Well, I want to go on mine first.
Well, I can't be allowed to do that. We must get married anyway.
Like, what the fuck? Why are you even married? Jeez, man. Weird. The dude said the wrong name at the altar. Hell yeah.
What name? Oh, I guess they can't tell us, but...
He said the wrong name at the wedding. Why does the name matter? You know what you remind me of? They were talking about that one movie, I think it's called Sophie's Choice. Is that what it's called?
Who, your Funhouse Boys?
No, fool. Sophie's Choice. Okay? Let's read a quick little description of this monkey ball. Political immigrant, house a tempestuous lover, blah blah blah. Here's the plot, okay? Look, nigga, all I remember is that, like, imagine like a person has to choose between two people that they decide, they're basically deciding who lives and who dies. And Carl Pilkington asked, you know, which one did she pick? And obviously it's not about that, you know what I mean? And you're just like, in this one where it's like the guy said the wrong name at the altar, and you're just like, what name did he say? And we're like, what, you think you're gonna know him? You know what I mean, Stripes? Like, this has nothing to do with us. Like, that's not what this is about. Let's move on here. You literally broke my brain, like, thinking about all these things at one moment. What's up?
Are you calling me Carl Pilkington?
Pilkle. The bride came creeping up to my brother and handed him a note detailing how much she loved him. And if he wanted her, all he had to do was object when the time came. He handed the note off to the groom's sister, and we left before the ceremony began. My Facebook says they did end up getting married. Haven't seen them since, though. My cousin, the bride, told us that she was going from table to table thanking guests, and that she didn't think it would last. We were stunned. They lasted about a year. Wow. Wow, dude. Why do this? The groom's vows. Dear bride, we've had our ups and downs, mostly downs. Oh, Lord. That's not that bad, you know what I mean? Well, God, yeah, you're not supposed to say this to a lot of people. Okay, friend got married on his honeymoon. His wife went to the spa. He stayed in the room to chill. Housekeeping came. Young, cute girl. Friend paid her for a blowjob. Told me about it, all proud. Didn't last a year. Your friend sounds like a piece of shit. Man, people are fucking terrible, dude. Just find somebody that's into the same shit you're into, man. What's all this secrecy about? The bride, whom I didn't even know. apparently designated me to help decorate the reception hall prior to the wedding. I went to do so, and her mother was there, telling me in a scared whisper that I better not mess anything up because the bride would be furious. Okay? Everything has to be a certain way, and if it was wrong, there'd be hell to pay. I gave her the benefit of the doubt, chalked it up to wedding anxiety, and during the reception I tried to chat with her a bit, and she literally rolled her eyes at me. I also didn't see her look at the groom once at the wedding or reception. They were split less than a year later. Later, the groom confided to me and my husband that the morning of the wedding, he'd been filled with an overwhelming feeling of dread and spent several hours just sitting on his lawn thinking, I shouldn't do this. But it was paid for, tons of guests were waiting, lots of family, including us, coming in from out of state, and he felt bad, you know what I mean? People are so stupid, dude. The groom didn't look at the bride once. Yeah, we're getting a lot of this. You know, it's one thing to be anxious, it's one thing to be, you know, jittery.
People because they don't want to let their families down, assumingly.
People are getting married for all the wrong reasons, yes.
Yeah.
And the worst part is that, like, family is just 100% the demons in these situations because they believe they know everything. They believe they know better than the people. The bottom line is, like, this marriage is not just going to screw up one person's life. It's going to mess up two people's lives in the event that there is a child in the mix. It's messing up this child's life. It's scarring this kid. To be honest, we live in a world now where we have computers and shit, and typically fighting over custody is a thing that kind of like the kid gets to benefit from, you know what I mean? And that they get, like, you know, some money coming their way, or they get toys that they may like, or a computer or a fucking game system or something that they can kind of just focus on entirely. But they're missing out on the kind of love that you would get from two people who are unified in loving each other and loving what they have brought into the world, like, together. But fuck me, you know, let's not get crazy. These are getting pretty depressing. We got to pick a lighthearted, silly one next time, because all of the yuck waka waka bullshit that we friggle out on the Pingley Bruce won't be enough for this fucking video. Talking about,
I didn't even look at him, and then we were divorced a year later. Here's my razor blade scar.
You know what I mean? Like, my uncle red-faced and screaming at 14-year-old me on his wedding day. Oh, I'm starting to sweat, and the sweat's getting in my eye. On his wedding day, to make sure I wear condoms so I don't have to marry some bitch I knocked up. Okay. Number 1. The groom invited his female friend. She was in the early stages of pregnancy. Towards the end of the night, the bride asked aforementioned friend who the father was. The friend cheerfully said the groom's name. The groom's name. I bet that marriage ended quickly. I bet it technically never happened, as it sure as hell wasn't consummated and was annulled. Depends on the state. Man, what a list that was, Stripes. I'm burning up though right now. You got anything to say?
I wish people didn't go through with it if their heart wasn't in it completely.
You know, I'm sure you'll stop somebody from getting married. They'll remember Stripes at the end of the video going, I can just imagine you, like, dancing on your bed like that. Anyway, what's something you really like, Stripes?
I really like that Baja Blast that you got me, and I said I can't get it here.
You can get it there. You just don't want to go to where you would have to go to get it there.
No, because there's real Mexican food here, Kyle.
Alright, Mexico-tastic. If you like fucking Mexico in the comments, leave a comment letting me know. And since then I would end up with no comments. If you hate Mexico, tell me something you hate about Mexico in the comment section. Yeah, it could just be a real circle jerk of Mexico fury down there. Have you ever eaten from a piñata that was like alive and it was like, you know, snapping at you and shit? Because it was like, why are you eating my insides that are actually candy, you know? Let me know in the comment section. And hopefully we'll see you in time with a more cheery list here. Forgive me, this one was just My God, don't get married, guys. And if you're gonna do it, know that you're doing it for money. Okay, man? Like, jeez. I would rather someone be fucked because, they have some shit to spare than fucked out of, like, their heart that will never properly heal. Be good people. Can we do that? Until next time. Stripes is a ladybug now, guys. She's a ladybug. And just so you all don't think that I'm, like, tripping on monkey balls with that ladybug crap, it's like an actual song. Just gonna crank that up, alright? Get a little bit of that, lucky ladybug, a lucky ladybug. Ladybug, silver dollar, rabbit's foot, with a 4-leaf clover and a horseshoe. Wishbone shamrocks got me shook. With an abracadabra in the cat's eye, I really wonder if you love me. Guess I'll ask the stars above me when the moon is bright canary yellow. That's enough.